In this lecture, we are going to be graphing quadratic equations. There are three things that we need to do in order to graph a quadratic equation. The first one is to find the x-intercepts. To find the x-intercepts, you could do multiple things. You could factor and do ZPP. You could do the quadratic formula. If it's a perfect square, then you could take the square root. But I think what I'm going to do is just straight up use the quadratic formula. So, my a value is going to be 1, my b value is going to be 6, and my c value is going to be negative 16. So I'm going to go ahead and plug that into the quadratic formula. X equals negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac divided by 2a. So now I'm going to go ahead and simplify this. I get x equals negative 6 plus or minus 10 divided by 2. So at this point, I am going to split this up into two equations. So I get x equals negative 6 plus 10 divided by 2, and x equals negative 6 minus 10 divided by 2. So x equals 2 when I simplify, and x equals negative 8 when I simplify. So when I come over to the graph, I'm going to put a dot at x equals 2. That's my first x-intercept. And at x equals negative 8, that's my second x-intercept. The second thing I need to do is find the middle of the graph. That is called the line of symmetry. To find the line of symmetry, you're going to use the equation x equals negative b over 2a. Well, from the equation above, I know that my b value is 6 and my a value is 1. So I'm going to go ahead and plug those in. I get x equals negative b over 2 times 1. So when I simplify this, I get x equals negative 3. So my line of symmetry is going to be, I'm going to draw a dotted line. This is going to be the middle of my graph. The last thing I need to do is find the vertex. Keep in mind that the vertex is going to be a point. It's going to be x, comma, y. Well, I know my x value is negative 3. To find the y value, I'm going to take that negative 3 and plug it back into the equation. So I'm going to have y equals negative 3 squared plus 6 times negative 3 minus 16. So I get y equals negative 3 squared is 9, 6 times negative 3 is negative 18, minus 16. So now, when I do the math, I get y equals negative 25. So to graph that, my vertex is negative 3, comma, negative 25. So I'm going to go to negative 3 and down 25. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now notice it's going to be off the graph, so I'm going to kind of count. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. So that's okay, that's all the way at the bottom. The last thing I need to do is make my graph. So I'm going to start down here and connect all the dots. And notice that this looks like a U, and that's called the parabola.